Welcome everybody to another episode of the Table Podcast, and in this video we're going to give you our review for Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, now playing in theaters. My goodness, what a great film. What a long movie as well. This will be a non-spoiler review for you guys, so stick with us. We'll tell you if it's worth seeing in theaters. I think it's cinema. Dylan, let's start with your thoughts.
Yeah, a whopping 3 hours, but honestly, I feel like it goes by pretty quickly. This is based on, I think, a book, or I believe, I don't know if it's a true story.
The Discovery of the FBI, yeah.
So, I thought it was really fascinating seeing this time period and a certain part of America that's not really touched upon a lot. And to see this conspiracy happen, it is really sad, like what happened to these people in this story, and you really feel for the characters. Shout out to Lily Gladstone, who plays the wife of Ernest. I thought her performance was pretty good.
She's wonderful.
Leo DiCaprio he kills
best
every
performance. I think he's maybe gonna get an Oscar
for sure. Yeah, and Robert De Niro too. Oh my god,
wonderful.
Just seeing him back,
he's great.
Yeah, legacy character always, but for Scorsese. But yeah, the story was good. The cinematics were pretty good. The setting actually felt like really like lived in, like the period that they're in and the reservation. I thought it was really well done. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, honestly, it's super authentic. The language being spoken to, really, like, I want to see more Native American movies. I wish they were better represented in media, to be honest, rather than like the old Civil War type of Native American stuff or whatever. I wish there was more. Of course, in a lighter note or a more inspiring note, it is a shame what happened to them, especially in this story. That again is based on a true story. I think the movie really takes its time. Sometimes you may feel a little bit tired. I think we could all admit that The Irishman was a little bit more boring. But I think you guys will definitely enjoy this movie. I think it has an important message to say as well, without spoiling much. I think the cast is phenomenal. Again, I'm a really big fan of Jesse Plemons too. It's so funny how he's now getting involved in all these types of projects. It's good for him, really. Everybody was wonderful in this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious for Scorsese too, because most of the time when he does films, they're mainly centered around like Italian culture. Yeah. But to see him take on like a totally different culture altogether, I think was, of course, really ambitious, but also just really inspiring. And in his age as a director too, to be that experimental, I thought it was really fascinating. And kudos to him, because I think he pulled it off, and it made, like I said, it felt authentic and true to the culture. And of course they have Native American actors playing the characters as well. So yeah, I thought it was great for the representation.
Yeah, seriously. And so I must ask, without giving away many spoilers, what was your favorite part about this movie?
There's a lot. I don't know. Sometimes it's like hit or miss, but I think there's a lot of shock value moments in this too. There's a lot of deaths that I won't give away.
Yes.
But I think they even showed in the trailer, there was a big shock value moment that I'm like, oh my God. And it's kind of like in your face, where this big kind of like accident happens.
I was heartbroken. Oh my gosh.
It was really so sad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And just like what these people went through, I can only imagine. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sprinkle in little moments like that in between these really heartfelt family moments between Ernest, the main character, and his wife.
Yes.
And overall, I think it was pretty good in my opinion. I'd probably give it a solid. I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. How would you rate it?
Sure, yeah, and I think this Ernest character is completely and utterly conflicted, and I think he's a really complex character, and I just love how Leo depicted him. I honestly would give this movie, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Before we close out, let me also get your thoughts on the music, because the music plays a big part in Scorsese films. Like, what did you think of the music, and which is your favorite song? Because I have so many. In this. It's so good.
It feels authentic to the culture. That's another thing that they kind of adds. Like, music tends to tie in with like bigger themes. Mm-hmm. So I think the Native American authentic music actually like built on the cinematics as well and like the visuals.
Oh my gosh.
There was like a few songs that like I can't remember the name of it. There was like this one song in the beginning that's like really hit me hard.
Oh yeah.
But any other final thoughts you had?
Yeah, again, the performances are great. I think it's kind of hard sometimes because that word masterpiece is thrown around a lot, these days. And I feel like when you say masterpiece, it has to mean a lot. I wouldn't necessarily call this a masterpiece, but I would call it a great movie. And for sure, I think Martin Scorsese was right when he talked about Marvel movies. It's not really cinema. Now I'm starting to get what he meant. And honestly, I think this is cinema. And we had Oppenheimer this year. Now we have Killers of the Flower Moon. I wish Quentin Tarantino came out with a movie. This would have been like, oh my gosh. It would have been like the 2009 era where they had like so many great movies in one year.
A lot of great historical period pieces this year too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So yeah, everybody, that is our review for Killers of the Flower Moon. Again, now playing in theaters. Eventually, it's going to stream on Apple TV Plus. It is produced by Apple TV Productions, which is really interesting. They're gonna produce as well, or they are producing Napoleon. So we're going to do a review for that soon, coming in November, and for the 4-hour cut coming sometime after the movie's release, which will be on Apple TV as well. So if you guys actually like this video, please like this video. Tell us your favorite parts, non-spoiler of course, because some people haven't seen it. And yeah, check out our other videos. But Dylan, do your thing.
That was a long intro, but anyway guys, thank you so much, and until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.